Let's start in 2 more minutes. One more minute. All right, this is Pour Your Pain Part 4, which is the last one. So this is what's behind your profile. This is an in and out series that I use on my YouTube channel. I'm getting ready to start back putting all my series and other teachings on my channel. So this is called Pull Back. You're empty. You might be pouring too much, or you're pouring too much, or you might be empty because you refuse to pull back. It can be either way. But oftentimes when you are a person that pours, or you are a person that gives a lot of people don't know how to have stopping sense. They don't have any stopping sense, and they are accompanying themselves and overworking themselves and overwhelming themselves because they are not pulling back. So I'm real big about getting ghost because I have to re-up on what it is that I need in order to put out. So you could be empty because you refuse to pull back. You're going to have to pull back from some things and people so you can understand where you are level-headed at. Meaning you got to train your mind and body to sit in a steady place, in a stable place, so you won't overdo, so you won't be burnt out. So I'm going to put a post in your hearing, and then I want to flow off some things that God gave me concerning statuses and notes and all of that. So I put stop pouring where you aren't wanted. Stop pouring where they aren't giving. Stop pouring so freely. Stop pouring your heart out to defeat the feelings. Stop pouring when you are posting. Stop pouring when you are lonely. Stop pouring when you feel like all hope is gone. Stop pouring to hold on. You might be empty because you refuse to pour back. Instead, you are pouring. Be off limits in your pouring. So you need to be off limits in your pouring. There is set times where God's going to have you to pour, but then he gonna say, all right, it's time to sit down. It's time to go into hiding. It's time to take a sabbatical, whatever it is that he's going to tell you, so you won't overwork yourself or overdo. So let's get into some of these notes, and then I'm gonna break this post down. All right. To understand where you are with pulling back or not stealing away, you have to understand how much you have poured and what your inner strength is running out of. So now you're feeling tired, you're feeling sad, and you're feeling empty inside. That's because you're giving too much of your time and energy to others without resting. And you're not taking care of yourself first. You're taking care of everybody else but you. So oftentimes when you're taking care of everybody else but you, that's when you begin to feel tired, sad, and empty. Now, you got to have pull back methods. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end because I am a ghoster. I get ghost on everybody. I don't care who it is. And I have to get ghosts so I can re-up and refill and all that. Because I do a lot of porn. Hey, Daniels, thank you for joining me. So, stop pouring where you aren't wanted. When you are pouring where you aren't wanted, you're not only wasting your time, you're wasting your breath, you're wasting your wine, you're wasting everything concerning your oil, your anointing, all of that. Because these people don't want to hear nothing that you got to say, well, unless it benefits them, or they don't want to have anything to do with you. So you got to stop pouring where you aren't wanted. Everything must be reciprocal in this set time. If they ain't giving, then you don't give. If they give, you give. Everything is reciprocal. So you got to stop pouring where you aren't wanted. You're going to pick up on this stuff. You know that people are not going to want you there, but they want your pour. And it ain't going to take you long to figure that out. It's not going to take you long to figure that out. So you got to stop pouring where you aren't wanted, because this is going to make you feel depleted, and this is why you are empty. So when I first, because I'm just going to use myself as an example, I started all of my social medias over May the 27th. I've been pouring for 4 months straight, non-stop, posting pictures, videos, lives, doing everything for 4 months straight. So now it's time for me to step back from social media, because I'm still full, but I'm not giving you all the rest of me, is what I'm saying. I still got stuff in me, but I'm not giving the rest of it to you. Because the Lord said, stop. Today is my stopping point. I'm about to get ghosts on Facebook. So, when you're pouring for that amount of months. Hey, Sister Keith, thank you for joining me. Hey, Jasmine, thank you for joining me. So, when you're pouring, because I don't know how God uses y'all. When he used me, I be on fire. And I don't be pouring for just no 1 and 2, 3 and 4 weeks. I be pouring for months. Because of the oil and the mandate that is on my life. But I know I have stopping sense. I know how to pull back, and I know how to get ghosts. And so I'm going to teach you the pull back method at the end. You got to learn how to pull back from social media, from people, from the people in your house, all of it. So you can replenish yourself, so you can, get yourself, whatever you have left is for you, is what I'm saying. So people are going to come out the woodworks. Oh, this girl ain't posting. They gonna come find you, because people do be like this all the time. When I'm not posting on social media, everybody be coming, don't come looking for me, because I've been pouring for 4 months straight. Don't come looking for me, because I've been pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, and the time is here. So You got to stop pouring where you aren't wanting. All right. Let's get into some more notes. Now, when you refuse to pull back, you're going to hurt yourself in the end because you're forcing something that doesn't supposed to be there. Now, a lot of people that serve in church, I'm going to go here for a minute because we all serve and we all give off an act of service. But some people serve so much to the point where they're depleted. So if they're boring, they jump head first into ministry. Dangerous. If they lonely, they jump head first into a preaching engagement. Dangerous. If they're going through anything, they find a way to minister. That is not wise because you're empty, you're depleted, and you want something to fill that void. So if you're forcing yourself to serve, now God has called all of us to serve in some sort, but God also gave us common sense to stop. Because people would kill you. And then they on to the next. And draining the next. You won't drain me. And you won't kill me. So, when you are forcing yourself to serve, you are empty. That's why you're forcing yourself to serve. You want to feel something. You want to feel, I want to feel proud about what it is that I did. Oh, I want people to see me spread the gospel. Whatever it is that you're doing. But when you go back home, you done did the works of the Lord. And you still empty. You got to have some stopping sense, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you're empty. You got to pull back. What do you have for you? What is it that God has gave you and you trying to give it away? That type of stuff. All right? Stop pouring where they aren't giving. If they ain't giving like you, don't give. Because you're going to be burnt up in all caps. This is something I had to learn the hard way because I'm a giver. And I'm like, God, why you make me like this? I don't want to be like this because people don't give like I give. But I had to learn the hard way. That's just who I am. I'm a person that showers and pours and everybody ain't going to do it like me. So, what I have learned over the years, however much you pour into me, that's how much I'm going to pour into you. And that's been keeping me from getting my heart broken and me crying to God and going over and beyond. Because I'm extra with everything that I do. So, stop pouring where they aren't giving. Especially if they ain't giving you nothing. So, you have to look at it from both ends. Well, I'm empty, but I refuse to pull back. Or I want to pull back, but then I don't want to feel empty. So you're battling with yourself. And all of this is fleshly. That's why you're battling with yourself. All of this is coming from a depleted place. You need to get some rest. You need to go hide for a few days. You need to cut your phone off for the weekend. Whatever the Lord tell you to do, to focus on you. All right? Stop pouring so freely. If the Lord ain't telling you to pour, then don't pour. Now that's one thing I ain't doing, because I don't talk for my health. So if God is giving me something concerning you, social media, whatever, I'm going to keep on pouring until you say, all right, get up off of them. And that's just how it's going to be. But I don't pour freely. But some people do. They pour. And they are empty because they're doing it freely. They're not being guided by the Holy Spirit. I have to be guided by the Holy Spirit to do everything. posting on social media. I don't just get on there and post. I'd be like, all right, God, what you want me to put on there today? Then the downloads start rushing, and then I flood my page. And then there's days I don't say nothing. So it's stuff like that. But you got to stop pouring so freely, because you are empty. You are going through a phase where, I want to feel like something, but at what cost? A lot of people want to feel like something, but if you don't pull back, you're not going to feel anything. You're going to be numb. So because you refuse to pull back, you're going to stay empty. All right. Hey, Sister Denise, thank you for joining me. Stop pouring your heart out to defeat the feelings. Now, when you're pouring your heart out, well, there's nothing wrong with pouring your heart out. Sometimes you have to do that to heal. But in most cases, when you're pouring your heart out, especially in a relationship, you got to stop pouring your heart out to defeat the feelings. You got to feel what is going on. Now, some stuff do need to be said, but some stuff you need to feel is what I'm saying. So, for instance, if this person have did you wrong and they cheated on you, I'm the type of woman, because I'm not a nagger. I'm not a nagger, I don't nag. So I'm a shut down. I'm going to shut down and go into hiding. So if a person have cheated on me, I'm going to process it. That's how I am. And I'm going to feel what it is that person have done to me. Once I come out of processing, then I'll be like, okay, you ready to talk? What happened? Why you cheat on me? Then that's when I'm going to start asking questions. And then when the nigga start lying, then the other side come out. So sometimes it's not vital to pour your heart out when you are hurting, because you're going to lash out and say the wrong thing. I am a person that holds everything in. When you do something to me, I'm just building it up, and I'm asking God to work on me in that area, because baby, when I explode, it's over with. Ain't nobody safe. So that is something that I have yet got delivered from, something that I'm still working on. So when a person is constantly hurting me, I'm taking it in. I'm taking it like a G. I'm taking everything. You cheating on me, you lying. I'm just taking in everything. But once it come out, you're going to see the other side of me, because I'm constantly taking and taking and taking and taking. So sometimes when you're pouring your heart out, you are defeating what you want to feel. That means that you're running from what you want to feel. Once you feel that pain, you know how to go about talking to that man or that woman, instead of taking it out on them. Yes, they did wrong. Yes, they cheated. Yes, they did whatever it was that they did. But at some point, you're going to get tired and sick and tired and sick and tired. And that's when you're going to start opening your mouth. But you won't be opening your mouth off feelings. You'll be opening off common sense and logical thinking and rationalizing, because you sat there and rationalized what it was that was going on with this person or people. You didn't just go and start rah-rah and start talking. But instead of you pouring your heart out, you allowed yourself to feel. So once you do get empty, you're going to feel better, because now this is the healing process. I done soaked all of this in. I done took all of this in. If you have ever been rejected before, you know how that feel. So you taking it in. People constantly telling you no. No, you didn't get approved for this. No, you didn't get accepted in school. No, you can't do this. You constantly hearing the word no. So you've been feeling that word. But at some point, God's going to send you a yes. It's the same way with your life. But if you pour your heart out and defeat the feelings, then you're going to be numb to everything. This is why infidelity is so heavy in marriages. Because people don't know how to communicate. Even if their spouse do go out and cheat, whatever it is that they doing, they go off feelings. Yes, your feelings are valid, but also your feelings will get you in trouble because you will want to kill that person and the other person. And this stuff flows into fatal attraction. And people getting killed because you play with somebody's feelings. And I'm not condoning a person playing with nobody's feelings. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to sit and breathe and say, okay, well, what made this person, go step out in marriage? Or, I don't know why God got me out here, yo. Somebody must be married on here. He switched the whole message. So, what made them step out, in the marriage? It could be because this is why relationships and stuff don't last as well. It could be that, what you stop doing to get the man or woman, you're not doing it in your marriage. You're not continuing to do it. And you can't do that because that's going to make them step out. So, you can't neglect your partner's needs. I don't care how tired you is. I don't care how wore out you is. If you neglect that person's needs, they're going to go get it from somebody else. So, because you stop pouring in that area, I'm going somewhere. Because you stop pouring in that area, they're going to go get the pour somewhere else. So now you in your feelings because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Now, when you are in a relationship, it's different. It's different from when you're married, because when you're in a relationship and you're getting busy and all that stuff, you shacking. So you ain't supposed to be doing that stuff. But, who am I? I did it too. But I'm saved now. So we all have been there. But you're having sex outside of marriage. So when you're doing these things, you can't keep freely giving your body. It goes back to pouring freely. You can't keep freely giving your body because that's not your husband or your wife. You're going to have to pull back. You have to fast from the bedroom. You have to stop giving it up. Because then they think that they're going to be obligated to your pour. Oh, have mercy. But when you are married, it's different. It's freely. So you can't neglect the need. So once that person step out on you, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself and sit back and reflect and say, well, what I didn't do right? What I didn't say right to cause this person to get up and go start humping on somebody else? What's behind your profile? What is behind your profile that you doesn't see, that anybody else doesn't see? When God gave me what's behind your profile, I want to believe it was in 2021, I believe. But He gave it to me. The revelation was just plain as day. Because on my accounts, I change all my pictures. That's just because I like to keep stuff fresh. People don't like to change their picture. Their picture be up there from the time they got the page and all that. But I don't do that. I change my picture every 2 to 3 days on all platforms. But I remember staring at one of my profile pictures. And the Lord said, what's behind your profile? And I got chills, and I'm like, huh? What is behind your profile? So when people are posting pictures, do you really know what's behind their profiles on social media? Do you really know what people are going through? Somebody can be on your friend list going through, I mean, just crazy stuff. But people would judge you off a picture, is what I'm saying. They'll judge you off a smile on a picture. But that is only a moment that is captured. So, when you love to smile, people they gonna automatically think, well, that person ain't going through nothing, because people think that concerning me. Just because I smile a lot doesn't mean that I'm not going through anything. I just wear it well. So they look at it as, okay, this person don't look like they go through nothing. They always smiling on their profile picture. I have a bubbly personality. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. Sad, grieving, pain, whatever. You would never know, because I'm always smiling. But the point that I'm making is, whatever is behind your profile, you have to pull that out from behind your profile so you can defeat what you're feeling inside. Now I'm talking about yourself, your body. What is in the inside of you that you're trying to defeat? You don't want to let it out. You don't want to pull it. You got to safeguard your pour and be off limits in your pouring. God is trying to get all of that contamination out of you, all that residue, all whatever it is that's in you, so he can make you clean in certain areas. And this is the point where people need to look and say, what is behind my profile? You know, what am I dealing with that I don't see? What am I dealing with that is causing my marriage to be jacked up, or causing my relationship to be jacked up? You got to pull back. Because if you're always under this person, or you're always with this person, you ain't going to know what is taking place. You have to pull back and give yourself some space, and give that person some space. Because, especially if you're living with each other, that's worse. You got to pull back. And you're your own individual. Of course, when you get together, you got your own little chemistry, your own history. You got your own thing going on. But outside of that, you still a human being. And this is where people get it twisted. So, you got to stop pouring your heart out to defeat the feelings. When you're pouring your heart out, it seems like all of your words is falling to the ground. And you say, well, I'm just wasting my time. Why? You're not wasting your time pouring. I can assure you that. Because if you're texting somebody something, or you're speaking to them about something, it just haven't registered yet. And so it may take them longer to register what it is that you're saying, because of the way that you're pouring. I am a deep pour. So a lot of stuff I say flies over people's head. So if I'm saying something in a text message, it's going to take them probably 3 days to be like, I finally got it. I had to keep reading it over and over and over. But I finally got what you were saying. So sometimes your pour can overwhelm a person. And it's not registering in their brain. I mean, they're reading it, but it's not registering. It don't click until months later. They're like, oh, dang. Well, this what this person was trying to get me to understand. I didn't understand until now. Stuff like that. So, you're not wasting your time pouring. You just got to pour from a logical place. All right, stop pouring when you are posting. You can tell when people are posting when they're bored. You can tell when they are hurting. You can tell when they're going through stuff if you read their posts. And a lot of people going to take offense to what I'm getting ready to say, but I don't care. I don't understand why people get on this stuff and vent, because that is not wise. It's not wise for you to pour and vent because you're bleeding. You have to step back from social media when you're going through things, because people be looking for validation while they're hurting. There's no validation while you're hurting. You just got the hurt. You just got the pain. Encouragement doesn't cure pain. Prophetic words doesn't cure hurt. A prophecy doesn't cure what you're going through. It's only making you more empty because you refuse to pull back. So you're pouring, you're constantly pouring, posting. And you're not taking time out to register, what is God trying to say to me? Do God want me to get in my word, or do he want me to pray? Because I know he don't want me on here posting. But because, I ain't got nobody to talk to, I'm going to post. That's what people do. They post because I ain't got nobody to talk to. But half of the stuff you're going through, people really can't relate. Because they really don't know what is behind the profile. They can only go by what it is that they saw and what it is that you're saying. So, when you are posting, you need to be strategic by what it is that you're posting. Sometimes when you are posting and you're pouring at the same time, you could be drowning and then you don't realize you're drowning until after you come out of there, and then you be like, okay, well, what made me post it? You come into realization because you was hurting, or you was bored, or you just wanted to pour or whatever. Before I post anything, I be like, God, do I need to post something? Don't post it. Because I have a wild imagination. And some stuff I post, it'll get me restricted. So, now don't post it. So, and some stuff he'll be like, okay, post this, post it. I have to be guided by the Holy Spirit. So, no, I'm not posting everything that comes to my mind. I have to be led by the Holy Spirit. Because if that's the case, I won't have no page. People don't like the truth no way. So if I really told y'all what's really going on in my head, I won't have no page. So I have to keep it cute and classy and knowledgeable and post with sense, but scratching you up at the same time. All right, I'm wrapping this up. Stop pouring when you are lonely. This is what people do as well. They lonely. They're going through relationship issues, and they're going through baby mama drama and baby daddy drama. It's just the stuff that you be seeing floating on this stuff just be insane. I just don't see how people do it. So they pour when they are lonely, but some people pour for a bag. So let's just clear that up. They putting all their business out for a bag. That's how they get their money. To each his own. That's what they do. That's how they get paid. So, you don't get paid for telling the truth. You get paid to tell your business and to lie. So, that's how social media is. That is what a content creator is. They get paid to lie, tell stories, clickbait, all that stuff. That's what they do. Stop pouring when you are lonely. When you are lonely, you need to get to yourself and deal with it. Which people don't want to deal with it. If you're hurting, if you're going through certain phases of your life, just pull back from everybody. Just take a minute to breathe. Go sit in the park for the next 5 days. Whatever, just get in your car and go ride. I mean, whatever it is that's causing you to refill or causing you to be refreshed. However God deals with you. But you don't want to do things because you're lonely. Because in the end, you're going to regret it. You get in a relationship because you're lonely. You're getting married because you're lonely. You're getting into something because you're lonely. But that is not wise. Because at some point, that person is going to find out what is actually behind the profile. Oh, you married me because you had a problem, or you married me because you was lonely, or you married me because you did this and was doing that. And now they ain't gonna be able to trust you because they'll find out the real reason why you married with that person. So Don't be getting in relationships because you're lonely. And a lot of people don't like to deal with themselves. They want to get in relationships, and then when one relationship don't work out, they in another relationship. You need to heal, because you jumping and bouncing from one partner to the next. That ain't doing nothing but satisfying your flesh, and you still empty inside. So people are looking for comfort. They don't want to be uncomfortable. And this is the problem as well. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They want everything to flow off fleshly things. That ain't good. Because if it flow off fleshly things, then you're going to need something else to put that flesh back in intact. You'll need something else. So you have to be careful with that, all right? Stop pouring when you feel like all hope is gone. Now, I'm going to go in a different arena with this. Oftentimes when people are pouring, when they feel like all hope is gone, they saying, well, you know, I lost this. I lost this loved one. It seems like I'm taking loss after loss after loss after loss. That's when your faith is supposed to rise. Even when you feel like all hope is gone. That loss is will soon turn into a gain. But could it be that God is rebuilding your life? And he don't want you to pour in this set time. Could it be that God is restarting your life and he wants you to focus on you? Or could it be that he wants you to sit back and reflect even while all hope is gone? So you got to stop pouring when you feel like all hope is gone. Because all hope isn't gone. That season just is up. The season just up. Or that place that you are in is up. Now I know you keep saying me, God giving me a revelation with my head. It keep coming. It keeps trying to slide off my head. God giving me a revelation with this too. Now, of course, this is a wig. And it keeps sliding off because the hair is real silky. So that means that the hair really don't fit. I got to keep pulling it down because of how silky the hair is. And it's irritating, for one, because it keep coming up. I can feel it come up. Lord have mercy. So that's why you keep seeing me pull it down. What's in your life that is causing things to ease up off your head? It's easing up off your head, and you trying to make it fit. Because that's what I'm doing. You're trying to smash it on there. You're trying to get it all just everywhere. It gonna rise up again. I'm finna take it off. You're trying to get it fit. Lord have mercy. Stop pouring to hold on. Ooh-wee. God told you let that Negro go, and you still holding on. He told you let that woman go, and you still holding on. He told you that time was up, and you still going and going like an Energizer bunny. Stop pouring to hold on. There is going to be things that doesn't supposed to fit in your proximity of your head, of your life, or your profile. And it's going to come up, and you'll be trying to pull it down. Instead of pulling back, you'll be trying to pull it down. Oh, I'm going to make it fit. Oh, I'm going to make this work. Oh, it's going to act right. But the hair so silky, it ain't fit for this type of hat. Stop pouring to hold on. This is why you are empty. You got to pour back. All right. Ooh-wee. Let's get into these pull back methods. Because I'm a ghoster in real life. I ghost you at any minute, at any time. All right. One, save your energy. I'm big about that. I snatch my energy back in 0.2 seconds. You got to keep some of your power for your own needs. When you're not in a place of saving energy, they're just like a light, like your light bills. You know, you running, you have lights on everywhere. Sometimes you need to open up blinds and cut on lamps. That keep your bill down. You're saving energy instead of burning every light in the house. So you got to pull your energy back, because you have energy vampires that like to suck you dry. They know what type of energy that you bring. So if they want to get you empty, they're gonna do whatever they need to do to drain you. So you got to save your energy for you in this set time. It's not about what nobody else wants. It's not about what nobody else need. It's about what you are accompanying for yourself. Save something for yourself. Just because I won't be pouring like I was pouring for 4 months doesn't mean that I'm empty. I'm not empty. I'm just finna get ghost. So when people start seeing that you're pulling back, they're gonna be after you. And God gonna say, ignore. Don't answer that phone. Don't text them back. Don't do none of that. I've been having a person call my phone for the past 3 days. And the Lord said, don't answer. So guess what they doing? They on all my social medias looking. Well, she posting and she ain't answering the phone. She on here posting. And I'm calling. But she ain't answering the phone. So God got me pulled back from this individual. Because it's something that they're searching for that they ain't getting. So if they don't reach me by phone, the next thing they're going to be trying to do is get in my inbox. And I'm finna cut that off. So they're going to try to find you in some sort. So you got to save your energy. This is a pullback method that you want to keep in mind. All right. The second one, say no to extra tasks. You know you tired. Why you telling this person, oh yeah, you know I'm going to go to the event. Yeah, I go to this party with you. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. No. I'm not going nowhere. Say no to extra tasks when you feel tired. That means that you're burning yourself out. You're running off fumes and fumes. You ain't got no sleep. Your body ain't got no rest. But because you don't want nobody to feel any type of way, you gonna go. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. No, I'm not going. I'm tired. Find somebody else to go. I'll go next time. Say no to extra tasks when you feel tired. Because if you were to go with these people, you fall out. They ain't gonna do nothing. They probably ain't gonna help you. But they got your body there to accompany them. People do stuff like this. Or they be saying, well, what's wrong with you? Why you come out the house like that? I told you I was tired. And you still told me, you still wanted me here. So you have to say no. Let no be your best friend. No, I ain't going. No, I'm not doing. Somebody else going to have to take you. Somebody else going to have to give. Whatever. I don't know. But I'm not doing it. Because you're going to be empty. You got to pull back. All right, the third one, quiet time. I'm real big about this. I sit in silence for 5 and 6 and 7 hours. Now, people think something wrong with me. Girl, you ain't said nothing about 7 hours because I'm not talking. I will literally sit and won't say a thing. Quiet time. I'm preserving my energy. I don't like talking. Unless you ask me a question, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to talk. But I got to preserve my energy and keep my energy You got to safeguard your poor. Quiet time. You don't have to really go to sleep. Just rest. Just lay down for a few hours. Gather your thoughts. Gather what you got to get ready to do for the week. Gather what you need to accompany for your goals. All of this stuff, you got to have rest in order to focus and strategize and put everything in place. All of that matters. So get somewhere and get you some quiet time so you can understand your thoughts clearly. People gonna be saying you acting funny because you ain't talking to them, you ain't calling, and all of that. People are just selfish. They real selfish. They don't care about nobody but themselves. So they don't care how you feeling. They don't care about what it is that you're going through as long as they can drain you. That's just the type of world that we live in. You might be empty because you refuse to pull back. All right. Okay, I see. I'm hearing the word shift. You got to shift. Whoever this may be for, you got to shift. It's people studying your schedule. They studying how you're doing things. They studying how you're going by accompanying things. You're going to have to shift. You have to switch it up on them, block them. If God's telling you to block them for Facebook, phone, you have to do a whole switcheroo on them because they think you playing games. So, if God say no contact, no contact. You're going to have to shift. Because if you don't shift, they're going to keep on coming in the same arena. So in order for you to enjoy this quiet time, you got to shift out of where you are. What you're normally doing. What you're normally saying. How you're normally giving and going. All right, 4. You got to set boundaries and rules. You got to put stuff in place. Look, we ain't doing this month. Look, we ain't doing this week. You're going to really have to set your boundaries and rules. If they can't go by your rules, then they need to, slide somewhere else. You got to set rules and boundaries so people won't run over you. It's good to be sweet and all of that, but you got to have some boundaries too. Look, you're going to have to find somebody to play with. Now, I'm sweet, but don't let the sour side come out. So, sometimes you have to put people in their place because they think that, oh, you sweet and you save and all that and you love the Lord. I keep playing. I get ratchet on you. And then come back and be sweet as pie. So, you have to put people in their place. And that's by setting rules and boundaries. If they want to disrespect your rules and disrespect your boundaries, you need to get rid of them. Because they don't care nothing about your health. They just want you to pull. Mental health, I'm real big about this. This is a life balance. Your mind is a life balance. You got to take care of your mental health. This is a daily habit that you want to perform. What's going on in my brain today? Why I feel a fog? Why I feel crazy? Why I feel discombobulated? Why my mind is all over the place? Why is all this stuff coming up in my mind? Why I'm thinking about this? Why I'm thinking about that? It ain't got nothing to do with the enemy. That's just your body. Because people like to blame everything on the enemy and blame everything on the devil. No. That's just something you refuse to deal with. So, your mental health needs to be your focus in these next 4 months. It is so much stuff that's getting ready to come down the pipeline in the world. People are killing themselves. Suicide is very, very high. I told y'all it's going to be worse than 2020. I told y'all. People are really killing themselves. It's mental health issues. They're going through mentally. They don't know how to handle the stresses of life. They don't know how to choose balance over bondage or balance over strongholds and all this stuff. All this stuff is spiritual warfare. And it comes to attack the mind. So people are taking themselves out because they can't pay their bills. Like, it's real out here. People are hurting. It is hard and it's going to get harder. But are you going to trust God with your poor? Are you going to trust God with your emotions? Are you going to trust God with your life? You're going to need Jesus. Because I'm telling you, when 2027 get here, I'm telling you all, you better get yourself prepared mentally. And we ain't got long before 2027 get here. According to the Jewish calendar, next month will be 2027. That's the world that say January say Happy New Year. No, New Year gonna be next month. You read the Bible. 57 to 87. But that is man-made. You go into another year in January, but we getting ready to go into 2027 in September. So there is something tailor-made for 2027. And you got to get yourself mentally prepared. And you got to rest. You got to tell your body, all right, shut up, body, sit down. You got to talk to your body. I ain't doing nothing else around the house. You're not a robot. This stuff affects your mental health. I got to go sit down because, I'm getting older. I can't do what I used to do. So I got to take it easy. So every time you refuse to pull back, you're going to feel empty. And it's going to be your own fault. All right? You got to stop stressing. Whatever you can control, control it. If you can't control it, stop stressing. Ain't gonna do nothing but make your life more tenser. If it's something that you can't pay, they say, God, I don't have all the money for this. You don't have to make a way. And he will. But you got to stop stressing about stuff that you can't change. And change the stuff that you can change. But if you're constantly stressing about, I don't have enough for these children. I don't have this. I don't have whatever. But you got to do some reflection and you got to do some inventory and say, God, I thank you for what I do got. I thank you for even having me to be in this place. Because I know that something greater is on the way. I know that something is getting ready to happen. I know that something is getting ready to come for me. But I got to be patient. I got to wait. I got to focus on what you want me to focus on. And not what I'm stressing about. We are human, so we gonna stress. And you got to pull back and be like, okay, you got to get yourself together. Because God done did this before. He done did it over and over and over again. So what you stressing about? Why are you worried about this? You remember when he did this? You remember when he did that? I have to start remembering all the testimonies. And that will keep me calm. I remember when God took me off my jobs. And I can't tell you to this day how my car note got paid. I'm just being honest. Food stayed in the house. I can't even tell you. I didn't miss a car note. So I know what God can do. I can sit and testify all day. Didn't miss a car note. Wasn't late. Didn't have nail job. So I know what he can do. So you got to stop stressing. If you ain't got enough food, just thank God for the food that you got. Some people are on the streets right now and they're crying and they're begging for food. At least you got some in your refrigerator. A person walking everywhere, they ain't got no ride. But you ride. Got AC too. It's just small stuff to be thankful about. So sometimes when you're stressing about stuff that you can't control, it do makes you reflect. It makes you sit back and say, okay, God has brought me through so many difficult times and brought me through so many just difficult phases in my life. Why am I stressing about this little old stuff? When I seen that he has helped me overcome so much stuff. All right, one more pull back method. Your response. You got to watch your response in this set time. Somebody, somewhere gonna come and they're gonna try to tick you off on purpose. They're gonna try you. And God ain't gonna allow you to respond. You're gonna be cool and calm and collective. And they don't think something wrong with you. Because you probably used to saying something back. But if God is refilling you, why would you give people the satisfaction to take out of you what God is giving you? That's what they do. When people are miserable and they got everything going on in their life, you got to respond differently. Or don't respond at all. Or don't say nothing at all. You're going to have to pull back. Man, you got to zip those lips up. Don't say nothing. Because once you say something, then your energy is coming out of your body. And now you're drained. Now you're frustrated. Now you're going through places where you feel like you have been counseled. Or you feel like you was forced to say something because that person kept coming after you. So your response matter in this set time. Not only because it is a fertile season, but because of the victory of where God is trying to take you to. Where he's trying to pull you from. You don't want to be inconsiderate about what God is doing in your life. Because sometimes we can be ungrateful. God did everything for us. And, we be sitting around pouting about a lot of stuff that doesn't matter. But I want you to pull back. Take the extra time for yourself. Go take yourself out to eat. Date yourself. Go buy yourself some flowers. Go buy yourself a cake. You showering everybody else but you. That is pouring back into you. People are going to come looking for you. I've been pouring for 4 months straight, non-stop. All of that is coming to an end. I'm going into a whole nother shift. So, once people see that, this person is pulling back, they're going to be trying to reach out to you for a word, prayer, all types of stuff. And I ain't going to be available. Because, baby, I'm finna get ghost on all ends. All ends. Phone, social media, everything. So, you got to manage your flow. You got to manage everything that God's getting ready to put back into you. Once he evaluate how much pressure you can stand, he's going to pour more back into you. So you can release when it's time. So you might just be empty because you refuse to pour back. So grace and peace to you all. I will see you guys on the flip side. I am getting my videos together for my YouTube channel. But I pray that as God used me from May 27th up until now, that you took everything that you need, whatever. I hope you learned. I hope you gain wisdom. I hope you gain knowledge. Because all this stuff finna come down off my Facebook page. It's finna be dry. So, I'm finna take all this stuff down. I am on Instagram. I got everything over there in my YouTube channel. But I'm finna get ghosts on Facebook. It's finna be real dry like the desert. So I'm gonna leave this video up probably for an hour or something. Then it's coming down. Probably next 2 hours. I'll probably take down the next 2 hours. Because I upload on YouTube anyways. But I pray that you be real serious about your porn and your pulling back. You got to understand why people are coming after you. Because once you pull back, you're going to see. You know, you are the person that's always reaching. Once you pull back, you'll be like, ain't nobody reach for me. Oh, I was the one doing all the reaching. Them the ones that God gonna make you get rid of. But you can't see it because you're too busy pouring. But once you pull back and see, okay, well, I've been the only one doing everything. So now I'm finna block this person. I'm finna get rid of them because they ain't been checking on me like I've been checking on them. Stuff like that. Your eyes is going to be visible. Your lenses are going to be wide open to the stuff that you didn't see because you was too busy pouring. So I will see you guys next time. Y'all have a good day. Goodbye.